Welcome back, gamers. My name is Neumatix, and today I'm going to show you how to make literally the simplest Ender Pearl stasis chamber using only 5 blocks. Let's get into it. Alright, as you can see here, we are literally using only, as I stated, 5 blocks, or I should say 5 items if you want to get technical. We have a honey block, the trapdoor, the daylight sensor, water block, and a soul sand block. Now, before I go ahead and show you how to make this and how it actually works, I need to go ahead and shout out Mr. Nico from my Discord server. He was the one who actually suggested making one of these and explaining a little bit how they work. Now, the way Ender Pearl stasis chambers works is that when you go ahead and place an Ender Pearl in a certain way and it kind of floats above water, when something smacks it or runs into it or updates it, it'll go ahead and teleport you over to where you ended up placing it. And this is by throwing the Ender Pearl, not by dropping it. You actually have to throw it. So if we go on top of this honey block here, and I crouch, and I go all the way to the edge, and I look down in the corner right here, all the way down, and throw my Ender Pearl, it's going to launch down and start floating on top of this bubbling water. Now, for the simplest version, I ended up using a daylight sensor. You could actually use multiple things here, but for this case, I wanted to use a daylight sensor, since if you have it during the day, you can actually go out and do whatever you want, and at night it'll flip this trapdoor down. It'll teleport you right back to your base right here if this was your base. Now, of course, if you wanted to go ahead and flip this and at night have this up and then during the day it flips down and teleports you back, you could easily do that as well. Now, I'm going to show you how to build this, even though you could probably easily build this on your own just by looking at what I had, but I'm also going to explain how these work as I build it. So right here, I'm going to go and place a soul sand down. I'm going to place a block of water. I'm going to place a daylight sensor. I'm going to place my trapdoor, flip it up, and then I'm going to go ahead and go 2 up, actually 3. And right here, this is it. I could go over here, all the way back, flip that down, boom. That's it. Literally, that is the entire build in like a couple seconds. So easy. Now, the thing is, you might actually want to protect this from other mobs, because if that pig, say, came over here and ran into it, it could actually push the Ender Pearl out of the way, which would end up making it interact with something, colliding with something that you don't want it to as you're out and about, and it will teleport you right back here. The other downfall of the stasis chambers is that the chunk that this is loaded in needs to stay loaded. And the only way you can do that is by literally building this in your spawn. So if you spawned in your world and you could go ahead and just barricade a nice space around there, that would be ideal for something like this. Now, this also might not be too much of a problem if you go ahead and find an area you want to build your base and then set your world spawn right there. So then that area will forever have its chunks loaded. Now, I guess I shouldn't say it is the only way to keep a chunk loaded is by having it in your spawn area. There are other ways of making sure that a chunk stays loaded, such as taking a couple of droppers and maybe making them go into one another with hoppers. A sort of system that has tickers going off that allow the area to stay loaded. I have not built one of those, so it's definitely something we'll have to look into making in the future. Now, real quick, the last thing to mention about this little build is that it works a little bit differently in Java. You don't technically need the honey block in Java. You can actually build this just a little bit further up, and then as you stand on the edge, throw an Ender Pearl down towards the soul sand, and it'll float up towards the surface, allowing you to go ahead and have maybe a piston up top to interact with it as a timer of some sort, kind of like with this daylight sensor, in order to teleport you whenever you need. Now, before we finish up here, let me go ahead and show you 2 other ways you could go ahead and use this stasis chamber. So the second way I went ahead and built is a little delay timer. So when I hit this button, it'll go ahead and launch these blocks into this hopper over time, and then back over to this hopper, ending up being around 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So if you're only going to be away from your base for about 3 minutes and 20 seconds, this is the perfect build for you. Or you could technically build this and then build another one of some sort and kind of have them interacting with each other, so you can extend your delayed time, and then eventually heading over to this, which will go ahead and disable it, which will go and trap down on your Ender Pearl. So let me go ahead and flip this. So when we flip it, it's going to keep it up. This is when you're going to go ahead and place your Ender Pearl down. So let's go ahead and break these, go up top here, and go over here, crouch, throw it, boom, done. So right here, when this timer is up about 3 minutes and 20 seconds, this will pull back, the trapdoor will slam shut on that, and it will teleport you right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and make this thing work by go ahead and changing up our original design right here. I'm going to push my Ender Pearl out of the way so we can get that out of our way. We could go ahead and place a sticky piston down right not there, right here, and then we'll place our block of redstone right there. So when it's activated, it'll go ahead and activate that trapdoor, giving us our timer effect. Then we could go ahead and take some redstone, bring it out to here. We could go ahead and grab a redstone repeater, place it there. Let's grab a redstone comparator, and let's place that right here. Let's grab our hoppers. So I'm going to place one down. I'm going to place it into that one. I'm going to turn around and place this one going into that one. So we got that all set up. Let's go ahead and go around to the back. We're going to go and place a block down, and I'm going to go and grab just a regular block, our cyan wool. Place it down like this. We're going to grab some redstone. Let's grab that out. Place it down here, and then grab another comparator. We're going to go and place this one out like that. It's okay if these hook up. We want that. We're going to place another block right here. We're going to go and grab a redstone torch right there. Place that in there. We want that to go ahead and interact with that. Then we're going to place another repeater going into this hopper, and then we'll place a piece of redstone on the outside right there. Okay, cool. So now when we go ahead and place blocks inside, so let's go and place, I don't know, maybe that's soul sand. That'll be fine. We could go and place maybe a button, and this doesn't have to be right on this block. You could go ahead and place maybe some redstone going out like this. Place a piece of our button, I should say. Click it. And there we go. We got this activated. So then we could go ahead and go up here. And it's probably going to go too fast for me to go and do this. But I'm going to go in with this ender pearl. Throw it down. And then let's stand back. Let's see if this works fast enough. I don't think it's going to. No, it's not. I still have a bit of time. So as soon as that goes all the way into this hopper, it's going to fill up. And then it's going to backtrack back into that hopper. That'll turn this off. And like I said, slam that down, which will allow us to be teleported right back. And there we go. Look at that. That was pretty quick. Not bad. Oh, get out of here. What are you doing? A little endermite. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. We don't need you here. Anyways, so yeah, that's the other way you could go and build a pretty simple stasis chamber. Obviously, a lot more to it with adding that delay timer, but it's a little bit more controlled than the other way with the daylight sensor. Now, the very last way I'm going to show you how to build something like this is by simply placing a block down, which I'm going to grab some smooth stone. I'm going to place it right here. I'm going to place a redstone torch right there, and it's going to go ahead and activate that. So from here, if you wanted to instead, maybe you just have a mine kind of far out, and you don't feel like making a timer, you don't feel like putting that daylight sensor every now and then, you just want to press a button and be teleported right back to your base. That can easily be done, or maybe not so easily, depends on how much redstone you have, but you can go ahead and take your redstone out like this, and just as long as this redstone's going into the block right here, it can't be up like this because then it won't work. You need it to have going into the block just like that, so it can turn the redstone torch off, which will pull that back, slam the trapdoor down, and go ahead and teleport you right back. So obviously, rows of 15 redstone, and then you could go ahead and place a repeater, and then more redstone, and then, you know, of course, repeaters with some more redstone, and then you could go ahead and from there, place a button down, and say we just came up for our mines, and we want to go ahead and teleport to our base real quick. We could go ahead and press this button, which will go ahead and actually, I totally made this wrong. You need to have these repeaters facing this way. New mistake, my bad. All right, so we go ahead and press this, extend the signal, it pulled back, slammed it down. If we had an ender pearl over there, it would have teleported us right over there. So let me go ahead and show you that it actually, if I could go ahead and do that correctly, let me go ahead and show you that it actually works. So I'm gonna place that right there. It's gonna drop down. Let's go over here. I'm gonna go and press this button. And there we go. We teleported right back. Pretty easy, almost instantaneous. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for me. If you did enjoy this episode, please be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to get content like this every other week or possibly every week. And I do hope to see you in the next one. Take it easy, guys. I'll see you later. Bye.